I only spank all three of them. They're 2, 7, and 9.
Okay.
In dangerous situations. So if it's like we're in the parking lot, hold my hand, no, and then she takes off, I'm gonna, pop her butt. The boys is more taking away things they care about.
Okay.
No, you can't play Wii.
So then, what do you have to say to like parents that like spank their kids? Like, do you think it's wrong, or do you?
Nope. I don't.
Okay.
Do you think there's an age where you should stop?
Stop spanking?
Nope.
Okay.
My mama would have jerked a knot in my butt up to the time I left her house.
Wow.
There's a fine line between spanking and abuse.
Okay.
And parents have to know what that line is. And yes, I do think it's possible to cross it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so hypothetically, if I had kids, timeouts, take away something that they enjoy, game time, TV time, internet time, no spanking. I would not spank my child. Not at all. I just disagree with the policy. I don't believe it's a good thing.
Why don't you believe in spanking? What's wrong with it?
Because I don't enjoy the idea of physically harming my child.
Okay. Do you think there's like an age cutoff where you would stop taking things away from them, or would you?
I mean, the punishment would increase, obviously, as they get older. If they're 16, I would take away driving rights. If they're 18 or still living under my house, then I would take away, ability to go out with friends. So, not so much that the discipline would stop, it would just change.
Okay. All right, that's good. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Hi, my name is Austin. The way my parents disciplined me as a child was not through spanking or through taking things away or things like that, but more through showing me how it's wrong and me coming to the level of finding guilt on my own level. So.
Okay. And what do you think about children who are spanked today? Do you agree with that?
If the parents see fit, then they see fit.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, my name is Renee, obviously, and basically when I was a child, until I was like 10, I used to get whoopings. Well, yeah, until I was like 10, I used to get whoopings, and basically the severity of the whooping depended on the severity of my crime, I guess. And basically, if I talked too much in class, then I would just get a small whooping, and then if I did something really bad, if I was I'd talk back or.
Okay, so tell us about your kids, your punishment methods with your kids, and your beliefs on punishment with kids, please.
My kids are 10 and 12 now, and I would say when they were younger, usually right after the toddler age, 3 till 5 or 6, sometimes lots of verbal warnings to make sure they knew what they should do or not do, but then sometimes a smack on their hand or swat on their behind to get their attention or make sure they knew when they shouldn't be doing something that they were doing. So I would say that was usually what we would do when they were younger, old enough to understand and communicate with, to make sure they understood what they couldn't do or should do instead. As they've gotten older, we've changed sort of punishment methods to be more about the things that they value and determining what they like most, and then when they make mistakes or choose the wrong things, taking some of those things away.
And why is that?
I just feel like they get to a point at which physical interventions don't carry the same value as others, and so as a parent and specifically a dad, you do want to have some authority over your kids. So establishing that when they're young is okay, but I think I still have that authority even though they're older, and my daughter's in middle school now, and I think she still respects the direction I give because she knows it was established early and me as the authority in her family, so it worked out pretty well.
What do you have to say to parents that still spank their kids when they're older, or do you have anything?
I mean, I understand that parents do spank their kids until much later than obviously what we may have done, but I think there's, it gets to a point at which you have to decide if it's useful and valuable and getting a desired impact, or are you really just, are you borderline abusing your kid because you think it's the only method that can work. So I think it's really close, especially as kids get older. Physical interventions in older kids, I think that's not going to work quite as well, at least in my experience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you had kids, what would be your disciplinary method?
I think my disciplinary method would be, it would probably be corporal punishment. I was spanked when I was growing up, and I feel like it worked for me. I feel like it did what it was supposed to do. I learned my lesson. I deliberately avoided doing bad things because I did not want the punishment. And so when you're young and you can't really make ethical decisions, you can at least decide not to do things because you know you're going to get spanked. So I would probably spank.